It gets mad when I turn it that way. All right. I don't know. What's up, YouTube? It's your beekeeper here, coming at you on a Saturday morning, afternoon. I think it's afternoon. It's 2:39 p.m. on the 22nd of January, 2022. Give me just a second. I'll be right with you. Give me just a second. There it is. Got one watching. I want to watch the comments. How do I make them? I really should do this more often. I think the comments come up on this phone, right? What's up? What's up, B? How you doing? How you doing? In a minute. So I had a question. All right, there we go. Here we are, shoot, third week of January 2022. I haven't posted like a legit video since August. I think it was the 19th. Was when I did that thing with the Volkswagen talking about that 1970 bug. I think I look ridiculous with my hat on backwards. I'm gonna go like this. How about that? I don't know. Oh, I know why I had it that way. I had my welding helmet on. I'm not a backwards hat wearing guy. I never have been. Not really interested in starting. Sorry, just trying to get things to show up. Hey, what's up? GPLE87. How you doing, Scott? Good to see you too. So my question to you is this. I'm gonna post a question, and then y'all can, whoever's watching, because I know there's only like, I guess there's 10 people watching right now. But my question to you will be, you guys can answer it here in the comments, or if you're watching this after I cancel the live stream or stop the live stream, you can leave your comment down below. So, where are we at? I haven't done a video since the third week in August of 2020. I've done a lot of stuff subsequently between August 2020 and January 22nd, 2022. A lot of stuff I have on video, a lot of stuff I've sorted out and are kind of not issues. There are things that are issues, but I have a ton of footage, and my world got really crazy towards the end of the year. That just seems to be my status quo right now, which is okay. But it got crazy, and I didn't take the time to process any of those videos. I didn't take the time to upload any videos, but I have them. So my question is this. Do you guys want to see that stuff? Or should I just forget about all that mess and start from January 22nd, 2022 and move forward? I was up at El Rancho. Well, see, the El Rancho stuff, I've got stuff with the Volkswagen videos. I think I've got potentially three decent videos on the Volkswagen. I've got one or two on the Dodge truck, one or two, maybe three on the Dodge truck. I took a trip with a friend, towing his 1941 Dodge sedan, two-door, luxury liner is the model. That's the word I'm looking for. And that was a fun little trip. Towed it 258 miles or something like that in each direction, because he was in the hell out of Dodge, out of California. And I don't know. Do you guys want to see that? Is that content you really care about? Because we're in the January and everybody's got snow videos, because that's what they are. And I'm going to be showing August and summer videos. So if you guys kind of want to see what's going on, I think the videos would be fun to watch. I'll try to keep them short and sweet so I don't bore anybody. I did spend like 3.5 weeks at El Rancho, and that last live stream, I didn't end up leaving that day. I ended up staying another 6 days after that, because a ginormous storm came in like right after I shoveled off that deck. A ginormous snowstorm came in, and I was like, I don't have to be anywhere. I got high-speed internet. I can, I called my boss. I'm like, hey, I didn't have stuff going on in the construction business. Things were just super quiet, which is perfect, usually the way it is around the holiday and New Year. And I called my boss. I said, hey, I want to take another week of vacation. And she's like, sure, no problem. She goes, you can still do your email? I said, yeah, I got my laptop. I can do stuff and things, make my phone calls, whatnot. But I just didn't feel like risking I just didn't want to drive. I don't want to drive out of the property. I don't want to drive down the mountain in that weather. So I stayed. So I think I've got a lot of fun footage of that Terra Pro being an absolute beast. That thing is a tank. It weighs a lot. We put, even though it's two-wheel drive, you put chains on those woolly boogers, and that thing has incredible traction. I took if you remember a few videos I did last year, well, a little more than a year. I think it was December of 20, when I built the bracketry to attach the snow plow that I built for the Gilson tractor, so it would adapt to the um, quad, that Terra Pro, and that was time well spent, time and energy well spent, because the Terra Pro is way more capable at pushing snow than that tractor ever was. I've got speed, I have a more nimble turning base, ton of power. That 350 cubic centimeter, there's a difference. It's not 350 cubic inch. It's 350 cc Yamaha single cylinder, tons of torque. The low range on that transmission is just, it was really, really good. So that, I got a bunch of that footage and trials and tribulations of that quad, because this was the first time I used it. Remember, I built it for last year, and I didn't get a lot of snow, at least not any snow that was worthwhile. And this time the snow was a lot, and we got, for the first week and a half I was up there, there was about 4 inches, 4 or 5 inches a night that dropped. So I was playing catch up, which was awesome. So every day I'd get out there in the morning while the stuff was nice and fluffy, before it had a chance to get wet and soggy, and I would push that off the road with that quad, and it was beautiful, so much fun. So I've got a ton of video, and it seems to me, because those are problems that I encountered back in September, October, November of last year, and they don't really seem completely relevant to me, but maybe you guys just kind of want to see what I've been up to for the last September, October, November, December, January, 5 months, with the stupid cars that I have, and I choose to drive old cars, and that's what I get, right? I don't have a car payment because I'm driving old cars, and you got to wrench on them every now and again, and that's okay, and that's okay. And there was a time where I had all three of the vehicles were dead, because the dog truck is still dead, the Toyota is still out, and it was supposed to be a 90-day wait. It died the middle of July of last year. And then just the machine shop, or the engine builder, he's not a machine shop, he's an engine builder. He had a ton of work ahead of me, and he's having problems with his supply chain. First of all, he's also having problems with getting the mechanics and in the machine shops that were doing his work. They're either out of business due to COVID, or COVID. No, just kidding. Not a joke. They're either out of business, COVID related out of business, or they just don't have the staff because they don't. So I'm still waiting patiently. Here we are, third week in January. But when I talked to him a couple days ago, 3 or 4 days ago, he had one engine left. It was a VZE, I guess the 3.4, whatever, the six cylinder he's rebuilding. And then he has like four 22 REs lined up. So he's just going to order a bunch of rebuild kits, master kits for him, and all that stuff, and just get them knocked out. So I should be hearing from him hopefully by the end of the month, according to him. But of course, he also told me 90 days. But I'm patiently waiting, because this guy comes highly recommended. He's good at what he does. And I'm second guessing whether I should have just pulled the engine and rebuilt it myself, because I could have done it. I wasn't anticipating waiting 6 months to have that engine built, but we're in a very weird time right now, and all this guy does is Toyota engines. I know I've said that a bunch of times, but waiting on that. There was a time when the Dodge was out of commission because I developed a leak in the radiator, and the dealer took like 4 weeks to get one. So I didn't drive it, right? Because that's a very expensive engine, and I don't want aftermarket crap. I want a Chrysler one. So I went to Dodge and I ordered one, gave him the VIN, gave him exactly the breakdown in the car. It took 5 weeks or something, and it came in wrong. It was for an automatic transmission, and I'm like, yeah, I don't need the oil cooler lines, and it's different. So then it took another 4 weeks to get another one. So that was like 2 months that truck sat. And then that poor Volkswagen, it just, I didn't have any delusions that a car that had been sitting and for what, 12, 13 years would just get in, turn the key and ride. But that car is still out of commission right now. When I did that video in August, I thought everything was a lock with the DMV. Well, it took another 5 weeks. It wasn't till the end of October before I got the stickers on that thing. The DMV was in California was absolutely difficult to deal with. I'm not saying they're inept, but there was just so many hurdles getting a salvage titled vehicle. And as I mentioned, I was like the third bill of sale from the signed owner, but I had the original signed title. It was crazy. And I went through a title service company, and it's still, he was just like, I just, this is not easy. So I thought I was in a lock in that video. It wasn't until the end of October, and then we had all these crazy rainstorms in November, and the water just played havoc on that bug with the ignition system. Twice I got stranded, and I ended up putting. Well, see, that's a video, right? There's a couple videos where I talk about that thing, and I got rid of the. I'll just give you a nugget now, and then if through the comments during this video as well as subsequent comments after this video, this live stream ends, if you're interested in seeing that, I ended up getting rid of the points and condenser because the condenser failed twice, got water in it somehow because that bug just got destroyed by standing water. Stupid Caltrans that's supposed to keep the freeways clear and safe. There were this monster standing water because they didn't clear the drains of the organics that come out of the trees. And even though I went through that standing water slow, it killed the bug twice. And then I ended up going with electronic ignition. And it replaced the coil and did all that stuff. And then I still couldn't get it to run right. So then I bought a rebuild kit for the carb, and I went through that carburetors top to bottom. And I've rebuilt dozens of carburetors before. For you youngsters, that predates fuel injection. Um, and then it turns out after I rebuilt it, I still couldn't get it to run right. That the accelerator pump, the casting for the check valves, there's two check valves for the accelerator pump that are that have these stamped plugs, and I can't do anything about those. Those are internal. The internal check valves for the accelerator pumps are not holding push or pull. They're not sealing for push or pull on the fuel. So if anybody that's driven carbureted cars, vehicles know that if you don't have an accelerator pump, the thing runs horrible from zero until maybe that bug runs like crap, and it burns raw fuel and it stinks until it gets up to about 40 miles an hour. And then the actual Venturi effect of a carburetor is effective, and it works fine. But like off the line, it's a dog, and it pops and it's angry. It runs like a car with a bad carburetor, even though I just rebuilt it. So that was awesome. That was a waste of $18 on a rebuild kit. But I bought a carb, and it's supposed to be here today. Honestly, that was like December. And then I completely burned out on that bug because that bug just hasn't been reliable. So I've been riding the Harley every day, rain or shine, day or night, pleasure for work. It's been all motorcycle all the time, which I don't hate, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of mental work, it's a lot of physical work because the highways that I drive are not safe. I'll just be honest with you. The highways and the cities that I drive in to get to and from work, both my day job and my construction jobs, are dangerous. And it takes all of my mental power to ride aggressive but not being a jerk, um, and be just anticipating the stupidity of the people that drive on the roads today. And it's just tiring. It's not as easy. You know, you make a little slip up in a car and you get a dented fender. And you make a slip up on a bike and you turn into a human scab. Yes, Skoke, the freeways out here suck. They do. You know this firsthand. You're very aware of the ones I talk about. So the bug, I got a new carb, and knock on wood, that will make it reliable. I got the wiring all sorted out because I did come across wiring issues since that August video, which I have sorted out. The ignition is sorted out, and I'm just waiting for this carburetor to show up. I ordered an empty. That one that was in there is a 30 pick 31 or 3031 pick one, something like that, which isn't a 1970 carb anyway. So I ended up ordering a 30. What is it? A 33 pick or 34 pick one or whatever. A modern carburetor with the electric choke and everything that goes for a dual port 1600 from like 1974 to 19 when they went fuel injection, whatever. I ordered a more modern carb, but I ended up not going aftermarket, the unbranded aftermarket. I paid a little more and I went with an MP carb. Should be here today, Saturday, so we'll see. But I have videos of that too. So do you guys want to see that? Somebody may have actually. How do I get these comments coming up? So let me see real quick. Steve, yo, beekeeper, you like the content. Hey, Steve, you're the HVAC guy. Yeah, buddy. Man, you've been around for a while. Awesome. It's good to see you. Wait a minute. Oh, I don't have my glasses on. Noon Fab, how's it going? Good to see you. It's going okay. Thank you. Skook says, post them. Yeah, of course. Post them. Let's see them. Bring them on. Hello, my friend from New Hampshire. What's up, William? How are you? Bobby Newman. Yes, show them. Freeways out here. Okay, so I'll do that. I do have some, I've got some fun stuff on the Dodge, I think. I've got a lot of fun stuff from this Rancho trip. I've got a month. Well, no, I wasn't there. Oh, wait a minute. I did something. Okay, hold on. I pressed it. There it goes. Um, I think there's a lot of fun content. We had a ton of snow up there. There was 3 feet on the ground. I think I mentioned this in my last live stream. And I got the articulating skid loader out with the 8-foot blade on it to clear the road. And I hit ice and rolled off an embankment and put it on its roof. And I had to climb out and dig my way out of the cab. I think I talked about that in the last video. But I've got some pictures and a few short videos of that mess, which I'll incorporate into an intro video to the ranch. But a lot of snow. Cleo was a good dog. Today I'm putting tubes in the ATV tires for the TerraPro. They don't hold air very well in the cold. The beads, they just don't. And so what I'm doing today is I went on the old eBay and I bought tubes. So like 18 bucks worth, because these tires are really good. The problem is they've been sitting so long that the beads are deformed, and I just without gluing them to the, anyway. I'm not dealing with that because they're such low pressure. They would lose by the time I filled them up at the garage and I'm plowing rows. By the time I got a mile down the road, the front tire was flat. So, but sometimes they would last 2 days. So I'm not dilly-dallying around. I got some tubes, and I'm going to replace those today. I'm going to install those today, not replace them, because these are tubeless tires. And then in theory, I can run these tires at 2 or 3 pounds of pressure, and it'll be fine, and it'll be fine. But I did a little video of breaking these beads. These were a bit tricky on that manual tire machine that I have in the garage up there at El Rancho. So, okay. So I guess I'll get back on the computer. I've got all that raw footage on the computer. I just hadn't gone through the trouble of making actual videos. So I'll go ahead and put those together. I will try to do that this week. Being gone almost a month, the service calls and stuff really piled up for the construction business, which is fine. So I've been doing my afternoons and evenings there. But this week should be pretty calm, and I'll get that stuff done. So yeah, that's the question, and it seems like I've got a pretty unanimous answer on the question. That's the update. I'm back in city life right now. It's a whopping 60, the low side is 60 degrees, maybe even 62 degrees out today. It's windy, but the sun's out. It's a beautiful day. And I've just been cleaning up storm damage because we've had some pretty high winds here the last couple days, and these trees make a mess of everything. And then I'm going to clean the house. You know, I already cleaned the house, did a bunch of laundry. You know how it is. It's just that single guy stuff that works too many hours during the week. So Saturday is my my just house dad things, just doing my laundry, cleaning house, taking care of little projects like this, and maybe Sunday will be my day to edit some videos. Look at that mess. Those are good tires. That's it. Anybody have any questions? I don't want to make this too long. Looks like we're already at 19 minutes, and we got a few people here watching. So if anybody has questions, oh yeah, nice shirt. My friend Troy got me this shirt. He's a professional welder, and I'm just a guy that welds for YouTube TV. You know, I can make stuff stick, but I'm not nearly at his level. That's all. What's up, Pink 100? Cook. Oh, hold on. Oh, these things. Beekeeper, how's your buddy over at the diesel stop doing? He misses content. I shot him we briefly chatted. I shot him a Merry Christmas text, and he called me back when I was up at El Rancho, and we chatted for a bit. He's doing okay. Works okay. He just is not in the YouTube mode. And I get that coming from me, who I haven't uploaded like a real video since August. And I apologize for that, because some people like watching this, and they like watching me do silly things, and That's that. So William's asking how the camper's going. So that's another thing on my short list. I don't. Too bad. I'm live streaming on the phone that has the pictures. The camper is going to get that bathroom and interior redone probably February. So I've been kind of holding off on tearing stuff apart. Probably not rightfully so. I should have probably just done it. But I was kind of holding out hope that the guy would call me and say, "Yeah, tear that engine out of the Toyota and get it over here." Because when I pull the engine out of the Toyota and I drop it off at the engine builder, he'll need it for a couple weeks, depending again on supply chain and how his machine shops or what the turnaround time is. But I want to put new tires on it. I'm gonna do brakes all the way around. I haven't done them in a while. I don't think it needs brakes, but why not? They're inexpensive. And I just kind of want to clean out the back. I want to do some work on that, and I didn't want to um, tie up the driveway too much. And then secondly, not having a truck because I was out of any pickup truck at all. I was 100% on that motorcycle for 2.5 months because it was like right after the radiator. Well, no, it's because the radiator took 4, 8, 9 or 10 weeks to even get sorted out with the dumb dealer. And then I was having transmission issues, which is another thing we'll talk about, um, which I'm not even sure how I fixed it. I fixed it, but I'm not, I don't know what I did. And that bugs me a little bit. But um, none of my tools are here at this house. My tools are at the shop that I rent where my big construction tools are. So to do that interior, I need a table saw. I want my chop saw because I'm gonna reconfigure some of the interior woodwork. And like I have some of my metalworking tools are not here at this house, and I haven't been able to figure out how to put a table saw in my backpack. I've been pretty clever at getting materials back and forth. I did have to get dog food for Cleo, and I put a 40-pound bag of dog food in my backpack, and yeah, that was awesome. That was ridiculous, but I'm having trouble getting tools back and forth, and I don't have tools here at the house, so that camper's kind of been on hold. But I got the Dodge fixed. Actually, the maiden voyage for that Dodge was the 200-mile ride up to El Rancho, with the last, I think it was 98 miles or so in snow conditions, four-wheel drive, just really testing everything I did to it. And that's a video I have where I did and it was right after that trip I took with my friend to Nevada and towed his big heavy car and the heavy car trailer and all that stuff. I was having problems with the transmission. Sorry, shiny objects. I got the door open to the shop here, and I'll just pay attention to you. I was getting some weird noises out of the transmission, and I fixed it, but so I just recently got a truck back, a vehicle back that can haul the tools I need here to this house, so I can do that bathroom remodel, and then I want to put new fresh coat of paint on the inside. But I did use it. I've used it a couple times as it sits. I went out in October. I did a 3-day jog in 3-day jaunt in that down in Pebble Beach, California, and then I think it was had to have been after Thanksgiving. I think early December. I went down to Monterey with it and spent 3 days with it in Monterey as it sat, and it's fine. It's a cool little camper. I just would like to have a flushing toilet, and I have everything for it. Literally have everything for it. I just need the tools, and I don't have a truck, so I got to get that little Toyota running. That has been more stressful than I ever thought it could be, but I'm not spending the money that they want for used pickup trucks. Yeah, no, I'm not interested in that. So Wayne's doing all right. He's just not doing YouTube. Let's see. Cook says, glad that he's doing all right. I enjoy the content. Really enjoyed his content. He's a very smart fella. And the work he's doing right now, he's still doing mechanicery work, and it's not my story to tell what his mechanicery work is. He could tell you that in a video, but what he's doing is pretty cool and pretty advanced. He's one smart fella, I'll tell you that much. But the camper's coming. Oh yeah, there's another project. God, I got so many projects. Oh my God. Oh, ooh. Okay, I'm gonna let you in on two secrets. These were two reveals. How far are we into this video? 25 minutes, 11 seconds, and there's 12 people watching. So you guys get the exclusive. You 25 people, or 25 minutes. You 12 people. Boy, you think I've been drinking today. Two things. So on one of my live streams, which I don't think I have public anymore, I mentioned that my trailer got stolen out of the yard that I had it parked in. So that was awesome. That utility trailer that I had that was 7 feet wide, 9 feet long, 32-inch expanded metal sides. It was a great utility trailer, great hauling trailer, all around great trailer. The trailer was locked. The gate was locked. The garage it was in was locked. Somebody got into the gate, cut that lock, got into the garage, cut that lock, and got into that trailer, cut that lock, stole a bunch of my stuff, put it in the trailer likely, and drove it away. So that was October. That was the middle of October of last year. So I was pretty bummed to lose that trailer. But in my quest to find another trailer that I could use, I found a project, and this is no joke project. And I'd show you a picture. Maybe actually, you know what I can do is I can show you pictures because they're on this phone, the one I'm live streaming on. If you guys follow me on Instagram, or if you're involved in that Instagram thing, if you want, send me a follow request, and I'll post some pictures of what I picked up. I picked up a mid '60s. Sorry, hold on. Oh, I can't pause this. If you give me grief, we got there. A big old wasp just flew in here, and I heard him. He sounded like a Huey helicopter. Where'd he go? Um, ADD. Woo. The I picked up a trailer, so it's a mid '60s. The title says '66. It's fashioned and home built, so it's fashioned after a teardrop trailer. It's all aluminum, steel frame, aluminum body. Looks like a teardrop trailer, but scaled up a bit. It's probably, I don't even know. It's wide and it's long, but it's cool. And the body is 100% aluminum, and it's a complete project. And it came with a title, which is phenomenal. And I paid 100 and a quarter for it. I went over there. I slapped some tires on it. I don't have it here at my house. I had to because it's not roadworthy. It didn't have a tongue on it. I didn't take any video because I wasn't even sure. I was gonna anyway. There's no tongue on it because the guy drove over the tongue with with a forklift, and it squidged it where the part that attaches to the ball. So I had to get creative, and I strapped it to. It was chaotic. I should have taken pictures of that whole mess. But what I did was I brought an RV, a Blue Ox. I'm trying to think of what it's called without sounding dumb, but I'm going to sound dumb. It's a Blue Ox RV tongue, I guess, trailer tongue thing. It's what you attach to a trailered vehicle that gets pulled behind an RV. Well, I've got one of those, and then you pull the pins, and that little tongue assembly comes off. So what I did was I brought that down there. I brought two good tires, and I just ratchet strapped it to the frame, hooked it onto my car. I drove it 10 miles down the road to a buddy of mine who's got a shop down there, and I parked it. So I didn't bring it back here to the house yet, but that's going to be a teardrop trailer that I'm going to completely go through and then polish it out and make it look like an Airstream type thing because it's got a really clean Chevy body. Jesus Louises, I'm looking at a Chevy piece of Chevy alternator right on that side, and it's got a really clean aluminum body, so I'm going to polish that. It's got 1964 Dodge Polara taillights, the square pod taillights. It's super cool, single axle, of course, and that's a project. And then, if who was asking about the diesel stop? So you've obviously watched me for a while. Where are you at? What's your name? Rocker Pat. What's happening? Rocker Pat. BBD Cook 4015. So man, Cook, maybe you've been around for my channel for the last about 10 years ago. It's probably longer than that, maybe 11 years ago. I wanted to do a Cummins swap in my '88 Suburban, that gray and red Suburban. And I had the diesel stop. I had his brain power at the ready, but it just financially was never right. Um, I was self-employed. I was bust hustling on that. I was raising my kids, putting them through school, and it just wasn't in the game plan for my time or my budget to put that kind of money into that Suburban. But it's always been in here, actually, probably here, right in the back of my mind, to do the Cummins swap on that. And then just this Christmas, and I've been eyeballing. So, a neighbor who shares a road with me, community road, has a 90, it's either a 90 or a 91 standard cab long bed D250 Dodge, non intercooled Cummins with a 5 speed get rag in it. And it's a ranch rig, so the body's kind of beat up. It's not horrible, but the body's beat up. And I've been eyeballing that for years, 7 or 8 years probably, when I realized he finally had that. Well, he's at the point now where he's ready to sell it. So it was in. I would have bought it in this December because I had dinner with him and his family the 26th or 27th, something like it was right after Christmas. And he wants to sell it. He wants to sell it to me, and he's excited about that power plant being transplanted into the Suburban. But it was buried in a snowbank, and I'm like, look, I'll come back I'll be back in March or so. I'll take a look at it when I can crawl around it, and then we're going to come to an agreeable price. And so I'm going to buy his Cummins powered manual transmission rig, and that engine, transmission, transfer case are going to go into that Suburban. It's a long time coming, and that's really cool. So those are the two big surprises, two big projects for this year. Actually, I guess if you consider that Cardinal trailer, that's a small project because I've got all the parts for it. But one project will be to get the bathroom in that Cardinal trailer. I guess one project will be to get the Toyota back on the road, get that engine rebuilt. Oh, good grief. This year's filling up already. But I want to buy that truck. I don't know that I'm going to start the diesel conversion this year, but I want to buy the truck. I want to sort out the mechanics on it, engine and transmission, transfer case mechanics. I don't care about anything else on that truck. If the steering is loose, oh well. If it has brakes, fantastic. If it doesn't, fantastic. And if I get to it this year, 2022, I'll do it. I may not. The other option too is I know a neighbor that's got a plow, and I may just put a plow in the front of that, and for the next year or so, just use it for next winter, use it as a plow truck, but probably not. I have a feeling once I get that thing in my grubby paws, it's coming apart, and the Suburban will get put together. But I need to get the Dodge running, or the Toyota running first, before I could take that Dodge apart and then do the swap in the Suburban, and then building that teardrop trailer out. I mean, it's gutted. It's got aluminum frame, aluminum skin, and that skin is probably 90% perfect. It's got a little wrinkle on one of the corners where it got somebody backed into it. But if I heat that aluminum, it's not structurally compromised. I'll be able to get it flattened out. I think it'll polish up really cool. Super excited about that little trailer. It needs so much. But Suburban diesel swap, hell yeah, yes. Skook, you be the cameraman for that. Well, you're not too far away. Wonder what happened to that project. Looking forward to that. Hey, Bobby Newman, how are you? Yeah, that project has always been, like I said, in the back of my head. But the last 10 years have been, I don't share it as much as you guys might think I do on the YouTube, right? You only get a small fraction of what my world is. And it's been pretty chaotic the last decade for me, with the business blowing up the way it did, and just getting my kids raised and out of the house. And, we've talked about the divorce, all that stuff. It is what it is. And you move forward and you make the best of what you got. And now I'm making the best of what I got. And I want that Suburban diesel powered. I mean, I've already rebuilt the axles on it. If you remember what was it, 3 years ago now, when I got it stuck in that snowbank and I shattered the rear axle, I went with a heavy duty. It's still a half-ton truck. I'm not looking for a monster tow rig on that Suburban. I just want a good, powerful freeway driver. And even though they're half-ton axles, they're both rebuilt. The rear end went heavy duty. I went with heavy duty axles, actual axle shafts, a heavy duty LSD unit on it, all new bearings. And it's got the heavy half-ton front with the 4 shocks across the front, and it'll be fine. It'll handle that Cummins just fine, because I'm not turning it up. I don't even think I'm going to intercool it. At least I know, at least not off the bat. I'm going to put it in non-intercooled because it's easier that way than cutting up the front of that truck to fit an intercooler. And I may not like the way it runs without an intercooler. I might be very happy with it, the way it runs without an intercooler. That's just one less part for me to deal with, to get that thing on the road as a diesel, and then to get it, the bugs worked out. And then I can always add an intercooler down the line. But that should be fun. That is probably, I don't know where I'm going to put that in the realm of projects, in what order of projects. Obviously, the Toyota getting that engine rebuilt is my primary concern. I believe the second concern is going to be to get that Cardinal Deluxe trailer with a running, an actual functioning toilet, flushing toilet in it, because that I do want to use that. I have a lot of fun using that thing, and I want to get that done. So those would be the two orders of that one. Toyota thing. I got to get the Bug running. Gosh, so many projects. But the part might be here. I don't even know what time it is now. I hear you. Hear that, Bug? I got to get that stuff done. So much to do. So much to do. And I'll bring you guys along, right? I'll bring the camera along. So, oh, there you are. Oh no, you're a different dude. You're a little black and yellow bumble. Don't stay in here, buddy. Beat it. Thank you. I'm sure I did nothing to encourage him to leave this shed. All right, where are we at? Holy crap, 36 minutes. Good grief. Um, yeah, right, Rocker Pat. I've been watching you. I've been watching you and getting a little Johnny Limpdick there going and painting your that helmet, doing your metallics and stuff. It's pretty cool where you're at in Texas that you can get that stuff. See, in California, several. I used to do a lot of painting. I did. I would do fenders and like bumper covers and stuff, and I had a spray booth and everything set up. I don't know that I made any videos of that. And then 6 or 7 years ago, California made it illegal to sell automotive finish paints to somebody that's not a licensed body shop. California, right? So I can't get any of that stuff anymore. I can't get good product to paint anything. Like if I wanted to paint that bug, the red bug again, I couldn't do it, right? And I used to have a friend that had a body shop. He's since retired, but I'd be able to use his spray booth. I'd give him some money, and he'd give me the night in the spray booth, and I'd paint cars. I painted that GTO in 19. Oh yeah, somebody asked me about a GTO update. I'll get on that one here in just a second. Skook. I painted that GTO in 1989. A midnight black Centauri single stage paint. That was the very first complete car I ever painted, and it's still the same paint. I still think it looks pretty good. It's a 10 footer at this point because I've done so much racing with it. And I used to tow my speedboat with it. It has a run. It's got a few things, but I was like 18 years old at the time in 1989. You do the math. Yeah, 18 years old. Bought that car at 17, and I painted it myself, and I was very proud of that paint job. And I painted. I'm far from the expert, right? I'm not an expert by any means. I painted maybe since then in my lifetime, like completes. I probably completely painted 11 cars, right? And I've done a ton of like fenders and bumpers and color matching and all that stuff. But I used to be able to do that, and several years ago, California outlawed that because that's the communist state that I live in, and I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, I do have a ton of projects. And where was I gonna go after that GTO? So it's funny that you talk about GTO. Wait, what's going on here? I don't know on the mail order. See, so here's the funny thing about mail order. Fleming Marshall was hidden by Gear Griden. Gear Griden, what's going on? Was Fleming Marshall saying bad things? Um, I don't know. I haven't tried to get any via the interweb and shipping. A lot of times people just flat out will not ship to California because they don't want to deal with California, honestly. I don't know if you remember when I had the 99 Dodge and I wanted the Diamond Eye 5-inch exhaust, and they wouldn't ship it to me. And I said, look, it's a federal truck. I can show you the decal, the EPA decal on the timing cover that says that this rig doesn't need a catalytic converter. And they're like, yeah, we don't even, that's not legal for sale on pollution control vehicle. I said, you're not changing the pollution control because there's no catalytic. Didn't come from the factory. When I get it smogged, it didn't require a catalytic converter, and I can show you the Fed tag. And they're just like, yeah, we don't even deal with California. It sucks to be you. So I had, my workaround was I have a friend that lives out of state, and I had it shipped to them. And then on one of my ranch trips, I just detoured up to their house and I picked it up, which is ridiculous. And paint could be the same thing. I don't know, honestly. I just toggled into a different way to earn income because honestly, they cut me off at the knees on doing side work. But whatever. I've got enough construction business and enough projects and stuff that painting, I just didn't have to pursue that. But like that red bug, for example, I'd love to spray the front half again because the hood, that front fender are going to need paint once I finish the metal work on it. So I can go from the like the door jambs forward, and that looks like that single stage paint. That's old. That's like a 13-year-old paint job. So I'll deal with getting back into the swing of painting. I still have all my stuff here. Great state of California. You goddamn right. What's up, Gear? What's up, buddy? Okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute. We got extra stuff. Spam bot. Thank you, Gear. I appreciate you. I wasn't keeping up on that. I appreciate that. GTO update. It's funny that you mentioned that because last week I was hanging out with a buddy of mine who I've made a few videos of. He's got a 66 big block Chevelle. Beautiful. Good grief. That's a beautiful rig. Um, I've known him since high school, and we've always had hot rods and done some pretty silly things over the year. And somehow here we are with all our fingers and toes, and never done any serious jail time for all the stupid stuff that we did on the street. But I digress. So that car, the GTO, my car it's going to need new tires because the tires they're old at this point and they're sun cracked and I don't know if Scott GPLE 87's watching, but I want to get rid of the Rally 2 wheels, and I want to go with a look that I really like, which is the powder coated black steel wheels with the poverty caps on them. And there's a company that reproduces them in, I think, 17-inch rims. It's either 17 or 18s. We were just talking about this last week, and my buddy and we sat there and we figured out the back spacing and we figured out which wheels I want, which will work for how low that car is. So that car has 2-inch lowered spindle. It has, when I went disc brake conversion on that, it's a 2-inch spindle drop, and then it has a 2-inch spring drop in the front, and then I put like a 5-inch drop in the back, maybe 4-inch spring drop in the back. That car sits really low. And the current tires on there, they're 265 50s, which are fat, big fat tires. But I want to get a little more sidewall. I'm not running 15s again. They're 265 50 15s. I'm not running 15s on there. I think I'm going to run 17s or 18s and still be able to have a little bit of sidewall, maybe like 9-inch wide rims. Anyway, I've got it all broken down and the back spacing and everything. So I'm going to order these steel wheels, brand new steel wheels, and put poverty caps on it because I think that's a pretty cool look with some fresh tires. And I may or may not get it out this year. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. I've made the promise in the past, and I don't want to be that every beginning of every year. Hey, I'm going to have the GTO out this year because I have a lot of other things I want to get done. And but you never know. The way California's going, I should probably get it on the road before it gets outlawed, and they come to my door and take it. You never know. It's California for as long as I stay in this state. We'll see. So the GTO's there. I still see now. Why aren't I'm not seeing comments anymore. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. Oh, we got another bot on there. Yeah, 17s do sound nice. 17 10s or 17 8s in the front, maybe 10s in the back. That thing needs a lot of tire because it's got a ton of horsepower, a ton of torque. Oh, those Pontiacs are crazy. And it was funny because he was around when I built that engine in the early 90s, and it's the same engine in there, so I must have done something right. My buddy with the Chevelle, and we were talking about that cam because that cam is like barely streetable. It's a crane cam, and because we're numbers nerds at the time, they custom ground a cam for me that's in between like the hottest street cam that Crane provided in the early 90s, and like the all out non-streetable rowdy cam. We went with something kind of in between. And then I had the heads when I rebuilt the engine. I sent the heads to a machine shop. I had them do, because they had pressed in rocker studs, I had them drill and tap and put screw in studs. The machine shop ported and polished those heads. They took a lot of material out of those stock heads, and then they line matched it to that. Edelbrock Torquer 2 manifold because I love spinning tires. And you know, Pontiacs, to put a Performer on there, the Performer manifolds, they're better at higher RPMs, and Pontiacs are not known for high RPMs, especially not that. And right now, it's probably sitting pretty close to 400 cubic inch with that ported and polished heads, and it's got a lot of power. So I need big tires on the back because I'm an idiot. That's just what it is. I'm an idiot. I don't know how to not get in the throttle, and I need to be able to not, well, I should say not spin the tires, but have less of an opportunity because I'm an idiot, and as evidenced by my motorcycle riding too. I get very impatient. Oh, look at, thank you, Gear. Thank you for hiding them bots. Um, it's interesting since for the last 6 months, I've been on that Harley, and it's been a long time since a motorcycle has been my daily driver. It's always kind of been, oh, I think I'll take the bike today. The weather's nice. But now, like I said, rain or shine, day or night, pleasure or for work, I'm taking the bike because that's all I have. And most of my construction jobs are done in apartment buildings that I can't fit that giant Dodge into anyway. So I need the bike. And I split lanes because splitting lanes in California is legal. And after my accident in January of 2020, I had to put new handlebars on anyway. So I went with the tall risers and the MX bars, and I cut them down. So my handlebars are only 22 and 3/4, 23 inches wide. So that bike is super narrow, and I don't have bags on it. It's exactly how I want it because I like being able to cut lanes and split lanes. So then I find myself when I get in behind the wheel of a car, I get very impatient because I can't just split lanes, and that bike's got a ton of power and it goes very fast, and I can get around anybody and past anybody, which is probably, well, I'm not even saying probably a bad way to ride. That's the way you got to ride around here because if you hang with the pack of cars, you're going to get run over because guaranteed somebody's going to do something stupid and change lanes into you. So anyway, big fat tire and everything. Yeah, buddy. I love big fat tires. Good grief. The 265/50s that are on there now are awesome. Hey, Rocker Pat, on the S10 year that you're doing, old Johnny Limpdick, I love that body style. I had a 90, I think it was a 90 S10, 90 or 91. It had that 3.4 V6. It was a cool hot rod pickup, and set it up with Chevy rallies with the center caps and trim rings, and just fat tires in the back, a little bit of a rake, a little lower in the front. And I love that look, and I like the fat tires in the back look. Not necessarily fat tires all the way around, even though the GTO right now has fat tires all the way around, 265/50s all the way around. Because not only did I bracket drag race that, I did a lot of track road racing on that too. They had these colleges. There were two colleges in my area that had they're since out of they're no longer teaching, but they would do ASC mechanic certifications and teaching. So every year they do fundraisers where they would take their I think it was probably a 20-acre parking lot. It was huge, and they would set up a road course with cones. So twice a year, I'd go out with a GTO and all my buddies with their big hot rods, and we'd go out there and we'd road race it in these things for times and stuff, and it was just so much fun. But the S10s with the big fat tires in the back, and I think I'm gonna stagger the tires on the GTO now because those tires, since I lowered it so much, they do rub a little bit when you really get a good swell in the road there. The front tire rubs a bit, so we'll get something to fit up in there. Who dat? One man shop. What's up, Robbie? How you doing, buddy? I haven't been on this thing in a while. I haven't done videos in a while, so I thought I'd throw up a quick Q&A and update. And I got all the A's to my Q's, and I think I got all the updates done. And that's it. Now we're just shooting the breeze a little bit before I get back to work. I got to put the inner tubes in these quad tires. Yep. Which I guess I'll grab a camera and I'll take video of that. I mean, that's not very exciting, but it'll be a better conclusion to me because I did take video of the awesomeness I had of breaking beads with a manual tire machine on quad tires that have been on for 12, 13 years and been out in the weather, and you can see there's rust on the bead. So these guys didn't cooperate, and I broke both sides because I wasn't sure what would be, there it goes. I broke both beads because I wasn't sure what would be the easiest route. I just gave me more flexibility on getting these inner tubes in. And these are like $70 a piece. Good grief. If I went on the interweb, I'd be paying almost as much as I paid for car tires, because these are 20. Oh, I just pinched my fingers. I don't know what the hell are they. They're upside down, that's what they are. It doesn't look right. So these are 22 by 3 by 10. And these tires are like, they're expensive, right? So for $18 a piece shipped, I just put inner tubes in them, and now I don't have to deal with it. Yay! Does this make you dizzy? Hey, yay! Stupid. I'm losing daylight here. And I also want to cut the grass before we get too much later in the day. So, yeah, I'll grab a camera, and that'll be a nice conclusion to the sweat that I worked up. Even though it was like 3 degrees out Fahrenheit, I worked up a pretty good sweat trying to break all 4 of these beads just a few weeks ago. And then I'm planning a El Rancho trip in March with Skippy. We got a few trees to take down. There's a tree, a really nice pine tree that just died this year, beetle kill, that's going to be sawmill food. Because I got to rebuild a porch up there. So I want to make some beams, and I want to make some boards. And we have a couple trees that I think are fresh enough dies, dead trees, that their lumber will still be good for doing that little deck work. All the rest of the trees will get cut up for firewood. But I do want to get some sawmill work done. But we're heading up there in March to do some chainsaw work. Of course, I'll bring you guys along. Should be fun. And I'm going to limit. I've got 8 minutes and 30 seconds. So I'm going to stop this live stream at an hour. I will do my best to do that. I'll do my best, I promise, I think. Sway bars all around. I do have sway bars on that rig. 285. Open up and open for the rear, and 245 17s up front. Oh, that's sick. That's actually not too bad. Let me screenshot that. Oh, wait. It's a horrible screenshot. Come here. Did I get it? I did. All right. I screenshotted that comment there, Rocker Pat. Saved the photos. That might be the option that I go, because I do like I said, those Steelies, they come in. I think it's 17s. I don't think it's 18s. But we'll get what fits. So there was another comment here I wanted to see. Hey, there's the Wizards. The Wizard's Den, my friend. How are you, sir? Sway bars all around. Yeah, so I put on that thing, on that GTO, I boxed in, because the original control arms were open. They were just C channels. So I got some boxed in, because it's a linked system. All 4 arms in the back are boxed in. It's got fat sway bars front and back. Sway away, I think. I can't remember the manufacturer I got them from, but it's got front and rear sway bars, and it's got boxed in control arms in the back. Yes, Rocker Pat, little tires are expensive. Screw that. So that's why we're going to go tubes, because like I said, the tread is phenomenal. This one, it's just the beads are kind of weird, and one of these has a crack because it sat on tires that were flat for so long. But they'll be fine. It's not like that Terra Pro is a high-speed rig, and I'm not doing jumps or anything with it. So for, I think it was $38 shipped for the 2, $36, something like that. Done and done. And then I won't have to worry about flat tires, hopefully. Cut the grass. Yeah, that's we got a lot of rain this year, which is fantastic, which is awesome. But I'm sure the state of California will still cry about drought. But my grass is growing like nuts. Rocker Pat, you're having trouble getting some logs on your property. Well, that's why you have that burn barrel. I saw your video. Cut those into small pieces and burn them in your barrel. Looking forward to that. Any Gilson play? Hey, what's up, Muck? Shallow Corvair Wild. Yes. Oh, you're in snowy South Carolina. Good for you. I'm in sunny California right now. No Gilson footage this year because I'm not very smart. This would have been a really great year for Gilson footage, but I forgot to replenish. I used it, 2 years ago? And the drive belt for the PTO broke, and I had a note to replace it, and I never replaced it. So when I got up there, I didn't have a drive belt for that. So I couldn't use the Gilson because why? why? Why deal with getting the Gilson started? Because I couldn't use the snowblower, and I didn't go into town. I was up there for 3.5 weeks, and I just disappeared. I packed enough food, enough dog food, enough human food, and visited with a few neighbors. But for the most part, I didn't go into town. But that snow was really light and fluffy, and like I said, we got 3-4 inches a night for the first week and a half or so, and it would have been a great opportunity for the snowblower and the Gilson to get some work. But on the other hand, it was a wonderful opportunity for that Terra Pro to show how capable it is, to show how well it actually pushes snow. I'm very surprised, very pleased, and I can upload some of those pictures to my Instagram. If you guys want to follow me, it's B Cowboy, or you can go to the like my main channel and you go under the last part. I've got a link, or actually, it should be on my main page of my YouTube channel. I've got a link to Instagram. If you guys want to follow it there, I can show you the snow is nice and deep, and I'll show you videos of where I rolled that tractor onto its roof, which I talked about in the last video. And but I'm okay. I didn't sustain any permanent injuries. Just a little shook up, a little shook. It's been a while since I've been upside down in a vehicle, even if it's 20,000 pound loader and you got to dig your way out of a snowbank to get out to freedom. It was really weird, but whatever. It's life. We're here and we're talking about it. So where are we at? 56 minutes. What up? Okay, Skippy just showed up. It's amazing what happens when you leave a gate open and people just walk in. Sick. Okay, we got stuff and things to do. It'll be on a video. I promise. I will. I will. So I think I'm actually gonna make my 60-minute mark here. Um, and did I miss any comments? I don't think I did. I think I got everybody. Very good. I appreciate you guys. There's 14 people watching. Oh, that's pretty cool. And yeah, I don't know how to end this thing. I think I hit the little X, right? But either way, you guys have a great weekend. It's already Sunday evening, our time here. I'm not even sure what time it is. It doesn't matter. The sun's still out. Um, yeah, why not 2 hours? Come on, Gear. That's enough. The Terra Pro is a freaking beast. I'm so happy to have that thing. And you will get lots of videos on that. I got a ton of footage of that thing pushing snow. So, all right, kids, I appreciate everybody watching. I really, really do. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Be safe. Enjoy your Sunday. And if you're the kind of guy that works Monday, like a Monday to Friday kind of job, hope you have a great week. Or if you don't work Monday to Friday, I guess you could probably have a pretty great week as well. Skippy's standing there shaking his head like I'm an idiot. He's just like, you're just stupid. Just press the stop button. Follow me on Instagram if you want to get like quick picture updates. I need to get back into that thing too. Um, if you do, maybe shoot me a quick comment and say, hey, I saw you on YouTube, or I'm the guy. I saw you on YouTube, because I get a lot of bots. I get a lot of, hi, I'm looking for a husband. I mean, those are pretty easy to pan out, right? And so I just instantly delete that crap. So let me know that you're not a robot and you're looking to steal my contact list or something. I don't know. I'm not quite sure how all that media social stuff works. That's why I don't do it. But y'all have a good evening. I'll talk to you later. Gotta go. Gotta run. See ya.